It was my first day in Colombo, Sri Lanka when this happened. You see the beggar there? Well, he shouted something when he see me coming, and that was to alert the man behind me, the man in the red t-shirt, the man who's just doing a sharp U-turn, the man who is giving a thumbs up to said beggar. That was to alert him to my presence, to tell him, look, there's a mark, and now he's going to follow me. So, yeah, I walk pretty fast, as you can see. I know if somebody's walking right beside me, it's not a coincidence. They're up to something, they want something, and this guy looking pretty suspicious. So, busy road and not get run over by a tuk-tuk. Here we go. Oh, yeah, I'm fast. It's no problem for me, mate. I'm a fast one. Right. So, I just ran across the road. Yeah, I have somebody right behind me trying to speak to me. Very suspicious. So, I put the GoPro down at waist level, and that was the very moment he started his hustle. Huh?
You go other side.
Why?
Take a photograph. It's nothing.
This more beautiful, huh?
This place.
On this side.
Red Mosque, Stunami Temple.
Oh, the Red Mosque. Yeah, I will take a look. Yeah, I'll take a look.
When you came, Sri Lanka today?
Today, but I've been before, huh?
Which one?
The second time before.
Ah, Sri Lanka.
Yeah, yeah.
No, yes, no.
Most people, they fly into Colombo, spend one day, and then do the rest of their trip in Sri Lanka. So he's just trying to figure out, am I one of those guys who's just off the plane? How much of a noob are you? How easy is it going to be for me to scam you right now? Very beautiful. No, I want to walk around this way.
Yeah. Nothing here, beautiful.
Yeah.
No,
it's okay. I just wanted to walk around. I have a lot of time. With incredible enthusiasm, he's trying to coax me to follow him in the opposite direction by telling me about some temple that I need to visit. As if that's what's going to make me go with him like a sheep. A temple? Does he think that every foreigner who comes to Sri Lanka is only there to visit temples wearing elephant pants? No, not me. If he had told me there's, I don't know, a retro Nintendo museum, or a place serving free ice cream, or this amazing place where really hot girls hang out, maybe he'd have a chance of getting me to go with him. But a temple, try harder, mate.
Thanks.
Huh?
We
have a stay in Gulf West Road.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, very important. Ah, you second time Sri Lanka?
Yeah, second time, yeah.
Very good, very good.
And you, what's your job here?
The Port Harbour.
Port Harbour, what you doing there?
Container discharging load.
Ah, okay, you do this all day, yeah?
Yeah. Today I'm on leave. I go on there.
Oh, because it's Saturday, huh?
Saturday after.
Ah, good. He claims to have a job. Well, I don't think this guy has actually done an honest day's work in his life, but he claims to have a job working at the port, loading and unloading shipping containers. You know, the type of job where the effort is really high, but the pay is really low. And his one free day a week, his one day off, does he spend that resting? Does he spend it at home with his family? No, he spends it roaming the streets of Colombo, helping tourists out the goodness of his heart. Aye, right, mate. This you working here?
Yeah, the side.
Ah, okay. Okay. I'm going to walk this way. Nice to meet you. I'll see you next time.
You got, you seen already Red Mosque?
What?
You seen
Yeah, I will see you.
You want to sing Stunami Temple, 2004, December 26.
Yeah.
Tsunami came.
Yeah, I know.
3,900 people died near the temple.
Yeah, very
now
bad.
the biggest one, Macy Temple.
If this was a genuine interaction with a genuine Sri Lankan citizen and they were recommending somewhere they think you should visit and you just said you weren't interested, well, that would be the end of that part of the conversation. This guy, however, walking in the opposite direction from where he was originally going, following me through the streets for about 10 minutes, trying to convince me that I have to go and see this fictional, only exists in his head, Stunami Temple.
Seen this temple. You never seen, never been to here.
I don't like to visit the temple. Not interesting for me.
No temple.
Yeah. Okay, nice to meet you. I'm going to walk on my own.
Tsunami Temple.
I'm going to walk to the Red Mosque now. Yeah. Okay. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, you go Tsunami Temple. Never seen.
Okay, maybe later I go.
Building,
Okay.
Building.
Yeah, maybe later I go. Nice to meet you, sir.
Nice to meet you.
See
Okay,
you. See you. Have a nice day. Walk. So I finally got rid of the guy, but not before he had one last desperate attempt to convince me to go to this fake Stunami Temple with him. Anyway, as I'm walking away, he's behind me jumping into a rickshaw, one that just stopped in the middle of the road, one that he didn't even flag down. So that's his mate, and that's part of the scam. There's three of them. There's the rickshaw that follows, there's the guy himself, and then there's the beggar. They're all in on it. So you're probably wondering what happens if you actually go with this guy to this fake temple. What actually happens? And I was curious as well. Not curious enough to actually go with him and find out firsthand, but I was curious enough to Google it when I got back to my hotel. And yes, somebody has written about it in their blog. Somebody was gullible enough to go with this geezer. And this is what happens. The tuk-tuk, it offers you a free ride to the Stunami Temple because it wants to show you about their religion, about the awful tragedy that happened in Sri Lanka with the tsunami. So they give you a free ride there. Apparently though, it's not very nearby after all. It's at least 15 minutes drive on the other side of Colombo, where tourists don't normally go. So any tourist who will end up there will be completely lost. So they go to this temple. It's completely ordinary. It's not beautiful at all. It's just as beautiful as any ordinary temple would be. You know, just some small local temple for that area. So they spend less than 2 minutes there and then they want to go back. And that's when the scam kicks in. That's when they start demanding money. The rickshaw's saying, no, only the ride here was free. The ride back you have to pay for. And he wants money for the waiting time. And they are preying on the hope that a tourist who is in Sri Lanka on their first day probably doesn't know the conversion rates for the currency. So they're asking for some ludicrously high amount. I don't know how much, like $20, $30 at least, which would be ludicrous for a 15-minute rickshaw ride in Colombo. And they end up having some huge argument, and the group just threw the guys 500 rupees and they drove off while shouting abuse at the victims. So that was the scam in that instance. Just a very elaborate way to try and extort money for a vastly overpriced tuk-tuk ride. Anyway, fast forward 6 months and I'm walking the streets of Colombo again. And guess who I bump into? Again. I hear the words, Stunami Temple. Oh, my camera wasn't switched on at this stage. I turn it on. I tried to pretend that I'm looking at some bags, and then he just turns into a tout who's going to help me buy a bag. Oh yeah, and this time I told him I'm from Australia, so that he doesn't remember me.
I don't need the money. Sorry, I don't want the money.
Okay. What are you doing here? You're working here in the Colombo?
Shop. Yes, Colombo. I'm working. I don't want the money.
You have a shop?
Yes, my brother's shop.
Oh, your brother's shop. Ah, okay.
Leather. How do you need the bags?
I'm just looking around. I don't know what I want. I'm just looking around the area.
Only looking for just 1 minute.
Okay.
Original bags, leather. Yeah. I don't want the money, sir. Because
really,
friendship is
so why are you helping me if you don't want money?
Because Australian people is a good. My brother
really,
is living in Perth. My brother is living in Perth.
Your brother is living in Australia, huh?
Yeah, Australia.
So what are you doing here?
I'm a beside ship.
You're a what?
I work in ship by working.
You're working in the ship? You work on a ship or you're working in the ship?
Working in the ship, cargo ship.
Cargo ship, yeah?
I've been Rotterdam, Amsterdam, Texas, Florida.
Ah, okay.
That's why sir, I say Australian people, my brother is coming, everybody.
Ah, okay, good.
Come, sir.
Huh? Oh, really, huh? Columbia bags. Whose shop is this? Whose shop is this?
Which one you like?
I don't know. I need to know how much these things are. How much are they?
Look, this is all backwise sports bags.
Who's the owner of the shop?
His owner is coming.
How much Under Armour bag? How much? How much the bag?
This one is still paid, ma? Very good quality.
Yeah, how much though? How much?
5,500 good quality.
Oh, 5,500? Ah,
This one
okay.
cheap.
Ah, okay, no worries.
Not
Someone
this-
else
not
selling
this way.
this kind for like 800 or something. So
3,000. Same quality,
3,000, yeah.
3,000.
No
Not this
worries.
still paid.
No worries. Okay, thanks for
You
letting
can
me know.
sir,
Thank
look
you.
like here.
Huh?
Excuse me, you can in a earphone.
Huh?
Earphone.
Earphones or
With
what?
this in the
Ah,
hand free
yeah.
also. Yeah?
Yeah.
Hand free, you can put it here.
Ah,
Stick it,
okay.
son.
Okay, thanks for letting me know. Thanks.
Okay.
Okay.
How much
So I
you're
just-
looking at budget?
Huh?
How much you're looking at?
Like 800 or something like
Huh?
this. 800. I seen it for.
800?
Yeah. You're laughing at me. Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
I give him 4,000.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I give him 4,000. You
Okay.
can bring the one back.
Okay, thank you.
If you
Okay,
like
give me.
it,
Okay, give me. Then. Okay.
You crazy sir. You can buy 800. I
Really?
get 4,000 for you.
Okay, come, we buy one for 800. Come then, we buy one for 800.
Couple of
Okay. Nice to see you, my friend. Nice to see you. Bye. Okay, so that guy right there was the bloody Stunami Temple scammer from a Stunami Temple scam video. I'm just walking around in PETA and he's like, he come up to me and he's like, you want to see Stunami Temple? Stunami Temple? And I'm like, oh, GoPro, get it out of my pocket, turn it on. And then I start saying, I start looking at bags and stuff. And he's like, oh, you want a bag? Oh, my brother has a shop, my friend has a shop. And he starts, come, let's buy a bag. And I knew obviously, I'm not gonna bloody go with him and buy a bag. I just wanted to see how much he'd try and charge me for a bag that I know cost 800 from a legitimate stall over there. That guy, obviously, into everything. Scam temples, scam shops, scam everything. That guy, he needs locked away, so he does. So he bloody does. This is the first time I've really walked around the Peta area in the daytime since then, and I see the same guy again. So imagine how many foreigners, how many tourists end up coming into contact with that guy every day. And I had some comments on my last video saying, oh Dale, he's just a guide, mate. He's just a guide. He's not a scammer. He's just hustling. He's not a scammer. He is a scammer. He's trying to take people to a fake Stunami Temple that doesn't exist. And then, like you just seen there, trying to guide tourists to touting tourists to go and buy overpriced, by like 5 times the price goods. So, aye, that's a scammer in my book. Anyway, from the mean streets of Colombo, make sure to stay safe. Ignore idiots like that when they come up to you. Your man just talks to him because he's making a video. He wants to expose the guy and show you guys who not to talk to. But yeah, this guy comes up to you in the street, 2 words, piss off, and that's it, done. But for now, I'm going to go for a wee wander, and I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.